I would like to shout out one of my followers, Black Power in Economics, for sending me this story. And this story is going to piss off a lot of people um, in a way that lets you know that a certain group of people in this establishment have more power and influence than one would think, especially since they have a very low population percentage wise. And I'm not talking about white people clearly, but it's something else. So in this picture, you see a man by the name of Peter Vlaming, and you will not believe why he was fired from his French teaching job at the school he taught at. No, it wasn't for sexually assaulting a student. It wasn't for putting hands on a student in a violent way. It wasn't for you saying anything racist or anything like that. He got fired because he referred to one of his students who I guess is currently transitioning, and you know what I mean when I say transitioning, as to the sex they were born as. This person is transitioning from a female to a male. They're basically pulling a reverse Bruce Lynn Jenner. And he referred to that student as a girl and not as a boy. And that is why he got fired. I said, we must be living in the twilight zone where if you do something so minuscule that they will remove you for. But that's why I say that this group, while their population as far as that community goes is like only 5%, they hold a lot of power. Well, the white ones do anyway. The black ones, y'all are just like their sidekick. Y'all are like their Robin to their Batman, if that makes sense. I'm going to go ahead and read this article coming from ABC News. It says a Virginia high school teacher was fired for transgender discrimination on Thursday after he refused to use a student's preferred pronoun. Officials at West Point High School, about 40 miles east of Richmond, cited non-discrimination and anti-harassment policies when it terminated French teacher Peter Vlaming over his refusal to call a female to male transgender student by their preferred pronoun. After thoughtful deliberation, the school board voted to support the superintendent's recommendation. The school board wrote, sorry about that interruption. It said the school board has adopted policies and tonight we upheld these policies. Board members said it wouldn't comment further due to the potential for future litigation. Blaming said religious reasons prevented him from referring to the student as a male. He agreed to use the student's new male name, but he tried to avoid using any pronouns such as he or him or she and her when referring to the student. An online petition in supporting of Blaming, titled Don't Terminate Mr. Blaming, acquired more than 1,000 signatures. The petition quotes Blaming saying, I won't use male pronouns with a female student that now identifies as a male, though I did agree to use the new masculine name but avoid female pronouns. Administration is requiring that I use masculine pronouns in any and every context at school. I was informed that any further instances of using female pronouns would be grounds for termination. Are y'all hearing this right now? They literally gave all the power to the student. It took all the power away from the teacher. Now, this teacher most likely, of course, has probably been teaching in his profession for years. And he's about to get fired for this one small mistake. Or what he doesn't see as a mistake. Let me continue. The West Point School Board voted unanimously to terminate Blaming. Superintendent Laura Abel said she agreed with the decision. As detailed during the course of the public hearing, Mr. Blaming was recommended for termination due to his insubordination through his repeated refusal to comply with directives made to him by multiple West Point public school administrators. As superintendent, it is my responsibility to enforce board policy, and due to Mr. Blaming's non-compliance, I therefore recommended termination. The school also held a public hearing on the matter, which featured testimony from the school's principal, Jonathan Hockman, who claimed Blaming told him that he liked and missed the female version of that student. So basically what we've gathered here from this story, ladies and gentlemen, is that these individuals who are going through the change, the transition, have more weight and clout than that of the teacher. So because he decided not to comply and not call the student as he saw the student as, he can say whatever they can pretty much do whatever they want. And I noticed when he says he missed the female version of that student, which leads me to believe he may have had this person as a student before they started doing the transition. And that's probably why he referred to them as a female and not as a boy, because that's how they how this guy saw them as. It's getting real spooky out here. If you don't have teachers out here messing with their students in a sexual way, or saying racist stuff, or getting assaulting their students, they out here getting fired because they not referring to their students as what they claim to be called. It is real scary out here. I said in my Twitter post, I said this we are living in a twilight zone right now. And the thing is, because they put this in their policy, yes, it's in a policy. I don't even think that he can sue them. Because it's not like it's an unwritten rule. It's not like they pulled it out of thin air and just created up on the spot after they fired him. It's in a written document that they have to do this. And because he went against it, that's why they fired him. And they had grounds to do it. So if he tries to sue them, it might fall. It might be a fail. So it's almost like he's just going to have to go and find a teaching job somewhere else. But y'all let me know what you think down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. The links will be in the description. I'll talk to you in the next one.